Welcome to the Style and Grace podcast. Maintaining mental health and tackling real life issues. Honesty and compassion. Where style meets substance and grace meets real life experiences. Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another episode of the Style and Grace podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Victoria. Listen, y'all showed out for the podcast launch. Thank y'all so much for the support. I really am overwhelmed with gratitude and I appreciate all the likes, the comments, the shares. I'm grateful. Thank you. And Tiaja told me I have to bring the merch back. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Shout out to Tiaja. Okay. This episode, we're flipping the script. My good friend and sister Monee will be taking over as the host, and she will be interviewing me for an authentic, unfiltered, and raw conversations. No questions are off limits. We're going to dive deep into life, experiences, and in the journey that have shaped me into who I am today. Expect some laughs. We may cry. I don't know what Monee is about to ask me. I am going to find out when you all find out. So let's get into it and let's welcome my girl, Monee, the Anissa. Monee, hey girl.
Hey girl.
How are you?
Hey girl.
That is wonderful. You know what, friend? I'm feeling good. I have not felt this way in a long time and I'm feeling good. I feel like it's my time. It's our time. And yeah. Listen, before we get in, for the people who know you, they know you, but for the people who don't, tell the people a little bit about yourself before we get into this interview.
All right, y'all. So my name is Monee, the Anissa Monee. Licensed massage therapist, content creator, YouTuber, mommy, all the things, okay? Yes. And I am so excited, y'all, to be on this podcast with my girl. We're going to introduce Whitney Victoria to you guys on today. So I hope y'all are ready. Whitney, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready.
We can talk all day.
We really can. This episode might be 3 parts, but we gonna see how it goes.
We can talk all day. But it's authentic, though. That's
For
the
sure. For sure.
Okay, so here we go
All right.
to this very special episode where I get to introduce someone who means so much to me, not just as a guest, but as my friend, my faith walk partner, my cheerleader, and truly one of the most inspiring women that I know. Yes, Whitney Victoria is the epitome of style and grace. She's multi-talented, a powerhouse entrepreneur, and a content creator who lights up every room that she enters. What I love most about Whitney is her heart. She has the incredible ability to pour into others, for anyone and everyone that she comes across, all while staying grounded in her faith and her purpose. From her unique sense of style to her resilience as a wife, mom, and woman of God, Whitney is someone who embodies grace under pressure. Allow me to introduce you guys to Whitney Victoria.
Why you got me up here about to cry? Like, what? Hey y'all. Oh man, that was beautiful. I'm like, is she talking about me? Beautiful. Thank you. You inspire me, girl. Don't thank you.
Y'all
Thank you.
friend already.
Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. I'm here, y'all. It's me.
She is here. We'll get ready to cry some more.
Okay.
Get ready to
Okay.
cry.
I'm ready.
The people need to hear. You know. They
Mm-hmm.
all right. So let's pop it off with the first question.
Okay.
Oh, why style and grace? What is the story behind the name, and how does it reflect who Whitney is?
Whew. Okay. So, of course, if you all listened to the first episode, I had this name of the podcast was going to be Whitney's Colorful Conversations. And I think it was 2021, I changed the name like, hey, the name of the podcast is going to be Style and Grace because Style and Grace resonates with who I am, how I carry myself as a wife, a mother, and just as a woman, and how I handle situations. I handle it with style and grace, and it's just a part of who I am. Style and grace is me. I reflect style and grace, even in situations and times when I don't want to. It's like is embodied in me. So the style and grace came from that. It's style and grace is me, and I am style and grace.
So it's safe to say that style and grace is just who you are. That's just who.
Yes, it is. That's
Okay.
a good question. Thank you.
Girl, you is crazy. So when people tune into Style and Grace, you want them. What is the biggest takeaway you want them to get from the podcast?
I do want to inspire, motivate, but also tell my story. As we go into more episodes, my story, I'll begin to share more and more of my journey. But this podcast is just a testament to I am here, right? I'm
Mm.
still here. And again, after we go through more episodes, I'm going to go deeper into my story. But I just want to be my life to be a testimony for those that may have been going through things, experience hardship, and they're like, dang, how am I going to bounce back? Y'all going to hear all of this stuff. So, again, inspiration, motivation, and hopefully somebody, like I said before in the first episode, uh, your obedience is tied to someone else's deliverance. It was something I said like that. So I'm walking in obedience. And I
Yeah.
know that this podcast is not in vain because it's not just for me, it's for someone else as well.
Mm. Yeah, you're gonna free a lot of people just by being obedient in the call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. You saving somebody else's life.
Come on now.
That's yeah, you've been given a responsibility and you've answered it.
Mm.
That's good. That's real good. Okay. A lot of people talk about the freedom of being their own boss. But what's the hardest part that no one warns you about when you are walking into entrepreneurship?
I think entrepreneurship looks different for everyone. I feel like it's a lot of back end work, right? And I still am learning, I still am growing, but I also feel it's so important to have mentorship in entrepreneurship because there's a lot of things that I still have to work on. Working for yourself is cool. However, you know, taxes look different.
It looks different. I
Right. It's always something you're like, okay, Lord, all right. But I do like, no, I love the freedom of being able to either pick my child up from school or pick him, take him to school, go to, be active with him. As before when I was working in corporate and manufacturing, I didn't have that luxury. And I appreciate where I came from, but I learned a lot. But this just feels great. Like if my son has an award show, I don't I can just go, and just showing up and just seeing the look on his face, it's like, it's all worth it. Is
mm,
every day peaches and cream? No, but I have every day peaches and cream. But I do have a goal, and the goal is freedom, and we're gonna get there.
we you working on it. You're doing good.
Thank you.
I heard you say about corporate America. Can you kind of take us through that? Like, what was that like, corporate
Okay.
until walking into where you are now with the Style and
Mhm.
Grace? Like, was that even a thought during corporate America? Like, how are those things?
Yeah, so before this I was in manufacturing. Like I said before, I had a really good job, but it was so let me tell you something. It was like when a job give you a laptop and a cell phone, baby, prepared to be on that all the time. Okay? It's like you are them. Listen, when they call you, you better pick up. You better not answer.
Mm,
Okay? I learned a lot. I learned a lot, met a lot of connections, but I was overwhelmed. I remember it was one time where I snapped on my son. And I
mm,
think he was maybe like 2 or 3 at the time because I was overwhelmed with, work. And I had to go apologize to he was like 2 or 3, and I had to go apologize to him, like, baby, I am so sorry. Mommy will not do that for you again. I mean, do that to you again. And I remember I was praying. I was like, Lord, like, I'm thankful for the job, but I was getting to a point where I didn't want to get out of bed to go to work. And
mm,
I had to seek therapy, you know, for the job. And my therapist was like, why are you still there? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm making this money and I have the insurance and it's just, blah, 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 blah. And my therapist was like, you can find another job. Why? And every time I would go to her, she's just like, what's the problem? Why are you still there? For one, I was comfortable, but I wasn't comfortable. I was comfortable, I was comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. It was like I know it was good because I got this money coming in every 2 weeks, but then uncomfortable because it's like, do I even really love it here? I don't even love it here, but it helped me with the lifestyle. Like I said, I made a lot of great connections with my suppliers, and I got to fly a few places. Great benefits came along with working there, but I was lacking on my family. Grateful for my mom, love her to death, but my mom didn't come to a lot of my games, or like when I was a cheerleader, or she didn't do a lot of because she had to work, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and love her. She did her very best, but I know that I wanted to create a different trajectory with our son, and I just get a different feeling when I am at award shows. I remember he started playing soccer when he was like in 2 or 3K, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm really at a soccer game right now." And no
Wow.
one is blowing up my phone. But it was in 2020 when COVID happened, and I said, God, this cannot be what you have for me. Like this is not what I saw. Like I'm literally going crazy at this job. Like, what's up? And so maybe like a few weeks later, there was an email that went out, and it was like, hey, we're doing like a voluntary separation. You can get like a voluntary package. And I was like, okay, God, listen, I didn't mean that fast now. I just asked you this. I didn't mean this fast. Okay. And so I had until I think it was like July. I think I had until September to make my mind up. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh God, I don't know what I want to do. Like I knew what I want to do, but in my mind, I wanted to have this much money put up. I had this entire plan in my mind, like of how I wanted it to be when I walked out the door. And so I think I waited till the very last day to send the email, and they had to accept if they were going to let you do it or not, right? And I think I got the email the very next day. I was going to work up until December 2020. And one of the managers at the time came. Something happened. He was like, Whitney, we got to push it up to November 2nd. And I was like, okay, cool. I had PTO that I used. So technically my last day, no. So I had a lot of PTO left up. So worked up. So I put it in September. I think I used my PTA from October 13th all the way until November 2nd. And that very next day was when I booked a client in Atlanta. And
Wow.
I remember talking to my dad. I was like, yeah, Dad, my client, has me in this hotel. It was beautiful. It was great. And he was like, I want you to remember this. He said, when things get tough or slow, remember this exact moment when you're in this hotel. And I thought about that. It made the transition so much easier. And so my official last day was November 2nd, and I have not been back since. Like I did contract work here and there, but I have thoroughly enjoyed working for myself. It's been ups, it's been downs. I ain't gonna hold you, but things are looking up now. Like I do contract work now, but I still get to do, my styling, my podcasting. So there's gonna come a time,
Oh yeah.
and I'm excited about that time.
I was like, God was like literally making you uncomfortable at that job because the moment you got uncomfortable and was obedient in the package that came the next day, like
Well,
you
it was the next day. It was maybe like a week or two, but it seemed like the next day.
yeah, but you can't make it up. You cannot just not see his hand, on you or in that
Sure.
season. So that's good. Do you still, to this day, when things get hard, hold on to that? What your dad said,
I
like,
do.
yeah,
I really do, because let me tell you why. And Dad, I know you listening, but there was a time where I had like this vision, like, oh, I'm gonna have this store, because I was selling clothes before. I was selling clothes and purses before. I'm gonna have this store. I'm gonna be doing it. And my dad was like, girl, I do not want to hear nothing else about, like, I don't want to hear nothing else about this. I was just on fire. I'm gonna do this, y'all. When I tell you I was lit, baby, I was walking. I felt like I was walking in my purpose, but my reality just didn't sit in yet. It was like I was there, but I wasn't there. Like, yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And my dad was like, "Yo, I don't want to hear nothing else about this." And now he is very supportive. Like the shift is beautiful, and I'm grateful for that. My dad told me he listened to the first podcast, and he was proud of me. And girl, that thing hit different. It was
Oh,
like, okay,
okay.
you know. So yeah, if I get into a season, I always go back to what my dad said, and then I need to do better at remembering the promise that God gave me
Snap one time. Snap one time. He has entered the chat.
and did
He did.
and did.
He did, sis. Listening to you talk, it's almost like he has you in this season right now where he's telling you to pick it back up. Like everything that you stepped out of your corporate job, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then you had to go through many seasons to get here. But it's like he's saying, "Okay, daughter, pick it back up.
Hmm.
Don't let your baby die."
That's good. Pick
Yeah,
it up. This is a message for y'all. Pick it up. What you put down, pick it up.
is.
Mm.
All right, friend, let's see. So, for any young lady that's listening right now and is in an uncomfortable place in their own corporate job, what would you tell that beautiful young sister or brother who is trying to develop an escape plan because they know, God, this is not what you have for me?
Mm-hmm.
What would you
Ooh, that's good. It may look different for everyone else because everyone may not have a SVO package, to give them that leeway.
say?
But I will say, if it's costing you your peace and your mental health, you need to leave, because I didn't realize how bad it was until my therapist kept saying, "Why are you here?" Like like I had to be to work at like 7:30. I was getting there at like 7:34. Sometimes I didn't even want to come in. I literally had to drag myself out of bed. Do your best to plan. I don't know if you follow Dave Ramsey. I say I'm Dave Ramsey ish, but have 3 to 6 months of savings worked up. If you can, if you can, and just apply, use LinkedIn, use social media. If I've seen people get jobs from posting, "Hey, I'm looking for a work from home job, this, and baby, it works. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. Plan the best that you can, right? If you're in a relationship, talk to your partner. "Hey, I may need help with this," but do your best to plan. Do your best to save. Do this. Pray about this for y'all. I would say don't tell anybody on your job that you about to leave yet until you have a plan. Okay, because
Escape. Oh, yeah.
escape plan. Okay, don't, because
Ah,
sometimes we talk too much and it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to leave." Baby, don't listen. These people are not your friends.
and not your
Don't
friend.
tell. Don't tell these people. Do not tell these people your plan.
Because
Okay, what'd you say, Mo?
Susie wants your job.
Yeah, or even that, they may say, you say, "Hey, I'm going to be leaving in 2 weeks," and they may feel like, what, you can just go today.
Mm,
Because some people are like that, depending on what state you're in. If it's an at will state, like it just depends. Keep your plan to yourself. I wouldn't go telling my boss. I wouldn't tell anyone. You know what I'm saying? Um, Plan properly, or do your best to plan accordingly. Get on LinkedIn, utilize LinkedIn, utilize social media. It seems like everybody is hiring now. And there are some really great jobs out there. If you need help with your resume, find someone that is proficient in creating great resumes that can tailor your resume to the job that you want. It is possible. Now, you may have to pay them, but if they have a great success rate on securing some jobs for others, invest in it, because you're going to get that back plus some. So that was my little advice.
that's good, sis. That's good. I hope you ladies and my brothers out there, I hope you are listening to that. And also don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't, and it can be scary
Yeah.
to leave that security. It can be scary to leave that security, because I remember once I was just swiping my car like, "Yeah, I got this. I know my money coming red bed." You know what I like? That's just how I was. But I also felt like well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I wasn't as intentional with my finances then, because I just knew I had, "Oh, that money coming right back." Like, I wasn't be intentional with your finances. I know a few months ago I told God, I said, "Lord, I just want to be a better steward with my finances. Like, whatever I can do on my own, like, let me." That's why I started doing my own nails.
Mm.
Girl, I've been eating them up, ain't it? I've been eating the nails up.
Eating up.
And I'm just like, because I was spending, don't let me get on my hands and my toes. I was spending close to $200. Girl. And I'm like, you know what? That money could be going towards savings, investing, and all of that great stuff. And I'm not downing anyone who's getting those done, because I know we all know we have our own things that we just have to get done. And like my nails are definitely one of them. I'm like, you know what? If I can do these on my own. And I've been eating them up.
And eating them up. Every set, you get better and better.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
All right, friend. What is or what has been the biggest I can't believe I made it through it moment for you thus far?
Monee, I have so many. I'm talking about from 2019 to 2024. Honey, I have so many. And I keep saying this, you guys, as the episodes grow, you're going to hear more about my journey. When I tell you, I think Risa Tisa had a story, baby. Listen, I'm not undermining Risa Tisa's story, baby, but the Whitney Victoria story is
Mm,
none other. Okay. And I think right now I'm in a space that where the biggest moment for me right now is like I finally made it, is I can talk about what happened and my flesh not rise up.
mm,
So I have mastered in this moment fighting my flesh and dying to my flesh from what should have took me out,
mm,
did not. I am still here. I am still standing. I
mm-hmm.
am walking in my purpose. Yeah,
Yeah.
baby. I never listen. I ain't understand that saying as a kid, but I understand it now. Favor ain't fair.
Favor ain't fair. It's not. To God be the glory.
God be all the glory.
What's
Girl. Ooh.
this? Your style. So your style, of course, is always on point. We all know that. So where do you get your fashion inspiration from?
Thank you, girl. Well, so I was talking to someone about this the other day. My aunt Carolyn, she had a hair salon downtown called Carolyn Golden Shears in Florence, South Carolina, and she would have a boutique in the front. And I just remember as a kid, she would get all the cousins together, often all the girl cousins together. We would have a sleepover. I'm at the salon. She would do our hair. And I just remember just trying on the clothes. And that came back to me. And I'm like, maybe this all started from when I was at my Aunt Carolyn's shop, because she had this I remember this royal blue sequins dress, and I would always go to that dress. And right now, if y'all know me, y'all know I love a good sequins piece. I really do. And I think that's where it started from, but I really didn't start tapping into my style till after I had my son, because I had this new body that I like at the time. It was like, I don't really like this new body because I'm so used to that other body. But once I learned to embrace my body, I started dressing my body and wanting, like, okay, like Deion Sanders say, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, they pay good. If they pay good, no, hold on, wait, I messed that up. Hold on, Deion, what you say? Deion, okay, yeah, prime time. He said, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. So that stuck with me. And so, baby, sometimes you just gotta dress up. I don't know where my style comes from. I really love like the 90s style. I love the style from Sex in the City with Sarah Jessica Parker, and the name of the characters now, Charlotte, and just all of them. I love that. I'm a bit of a 90s girl. I love 90s fashion with a little bit of modern chic. It's all over the place. I can get inspiration from. I could get inspiration just from just a shirt and Goodwill, and like, you know what?
You really can.
I can make this work.
Yeah.
And I always say it's not what you wear, it's how you feel and what you wearing. That's it. It's like, how does this make me feel? Like, how is it suiting my body? Because just because it's in my size does not mean it's for me. So I want to make sure that what I put on is accentuating my body
Mm-hmm.
appropriately. I don't even know if I answered your question, friend.
No, you did. You did. You answered it. So how did you get past? I feel like as women, sometimes we are self conscious and be like, if I put this color with this color, I wonder how this is gonna look like. Getting past the what would they think? Uh,
Mm.
you get what I'm trying to say,
I
Hillside?
do. I do. You're not dressing for anybody. Okay, once we stop worrying about everyone else's expectations, then you'll be all right. Put on what you want to put on, but I do say that make sure that it accentuates your body. If you need some shapewear, please put some shapewear on. But it's not, like I said, it's not what you wear, it's how you feel and what you're wearing. And sometimes it takes people, especially women, after they have kids, it takes them longer to really understand their body and really know how to dress your body. And to the mamas out there that's struggling, or to the mamas or the women out there, it's okay.
Mhm.
If you don't have your desired body right now, dress your body type. Find clothes and outfits that fit your body type at this time.
Gotcha, sis. Good. I hope y'all, ladies and gentlemen, are listening to that.
And that, like you said, that goes for the men too. Dress your body type, bro.
Yeah, fix your body type. Yeah, if you got muscles, okay. If someone came to you and felt as though their style was a mess, what would be the number one tip that you would give them to, or if they feel like they don't have the budget for a
Oh,
shop?
I always say you can always enhance your style. And a lot of times you don't have to do much. 7 times out of 10, you have something in your closet that can help elevate your style. And for those who say, well, I don't have the budget, baby, we ain't got to start with Gucci and Dior. You can go to Goodwill. You can go to your thrift shop. Baby, you can go to Walmart. You can go to Target. You can go
Yeah,
to Kohl's. While you playing, you can go to Five Below. Okay?
yeah.
You
Now
can
that,
go to Bible. There is no excuse
yes.
for your style not to be elevated. I remember back in the day, shopping at Goodwill used to be, a thing. So, oh, you shopping at Goodwill. Now it's like, girl, we're going to Goodwill today.
Mm-hmm.
Because Goodwill really has gems. And I see a lot of people who wear the labels and stuff. And sometimes that don't be really looking all like that. It's not what you wear, it's how you wear it and how it's put together. I always say I can make a brown paper bag look good.
And I believe you. But
And so can y'all. And so can y'all. Y'all can make it look good too. Long as that brown paper bag is fitted for your body, your body type, your body type.
yeah, yeah, I like that. Thank you. You gave me some tips too. I'm gonna write it down.
You're welcome, sis.
All right, friend, you've been through so much and you still keep going.
Mm,
What's about your journey that people don't see or wouldn't even expect from a woman like you? Drumline.
we'll be here all day. And I know I keep saying this, y'all, but as we get into the episodes, I'm going to be sharing more of my journey. There was a point in time where I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. And from the outside looking in, I covered up so well because I was always smiling, like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I just kept, I don't think I was going through, I was just here.
But by this, what do you mean? Entrepreneurship?
I'm in the entrepreneurship, the life that was lifing at the time. And I'm sorry if I didn't get your question, friend. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Entrepreneurship situations that happen. Well, I don't want to say situations. I want to say trials that tried to happen, but did not sustain. It was hard. And what people don't know, what people didn't see was, there were times I really wanted to give up. There were times where I felt defeated. But even in that, from the outside looking in, no one would know. And not because I don't even want to say I was ashamed. I just didn't know how to navigate expressing to someone the things that I was going to, because I felt like I always just had to have it together. And always in that feeling of always thinking that I always had to have it together broke me down. And that was a really tough spot in my life. And, as I started going to therapy and utilizing the resources that my therapist gave me, it helped me to navigate things in life. It helped me to navigate things in life so much better. And yeah, I really hope that answered your question.
Yeah. So, would you consider yourself a perfectionist, or were a perfectionist to the point where you felt like it wasn't coming together? Is it because you were trying to perfect it, or it just really wasn't coming together?
Most definitely perfection. My view of perfection definitely delayed a lot of what should have happened a long time ago. And I remember my coach at the time, Mark Coley, shout out to Mark, TMCBA. He said, just start now and just perfect it later. No one ever starts out with the thing right, like soon as they launch or as soon as they start a business. We look at what's his name? What's the Amazon guy name?
Jeff
Um,
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos out of his garage.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs out his mama garage. I mean, I even look at Vera Wang. Like Vera Wang started in like her 50s. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't perfect, but they did it. So don't allow perfectionism to hold you back even more. I know we look at the superficial things on social media, and we look at the journeys of others, and we see how everything is together, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
We don't see the down. We see the ups, but we don't see the downs, and we don't see the coulda shoulda beens. A lot of people highlight the ups, but they're not showcasing their downs. And I want to get more vocal about showing the downs and just showing that everything is not always perfect. One day it may be here. Monday I may be up, next minute I may be down, but you know what? I'm gonna bounce back though.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to see that, especially when you are resilient, because a lot of people don't know what that looks like. And with your
Woo.
obedience, you could be showing somebody, you could be their role model in their life that they haven't had, and it's not because no one loves them; they just don't have the capacity. Everybody has a different capacity.
That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah, friends. So, how has faith helped you in those seasons of I just feel like letting this go? How did Big God how
Hmm.
did he come in and help you in those situations?
Oh my God, so many times, because there was a time where I put God to the side. There was a time where I told God, I was like, God, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Mm,
Like, I don't even know if you real, because if you real, why are you allowing this stuff to happen to me? While stuff is going on great over there. I remember I told God, I was like, look, I don't bother nobody. I do my best to live right. I'm paying my time. I'm paying my like, bruh. Like, I was talking to him, like, bruh, like, what's the problem? Why does this keep happening to me? Like, what's the deal? And I did tell God, I said, God, give me my tithes and offering back.
yeah,
I said,
but what though? They don't belong to.
look, but so I remember how I wrote that, and this guy he was like, your tithes and offering don't belong to you anyway. And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
but I was so mad and so angry with God. And oh, girl, mad. I went to Target one day, and before I went to Target that day, I was in the mirror and I was like, God, I am not Job. Stop bringing all this stuff on me. Like, I am not him. Like, leave me alone. Went to Target. I saw Jessica. Jessica don't even live in the same city. So I saw her and it was just great to see her. And I told her what I told God. And she was like, but what if God has you in the Job season? Like, you need to honor that Job season. I thought about it. Like, I heard her, but I'm like, girl, I'm like, okay, girl, yes, sis, you're right. But in my mind, I'm like, girl, I don't want to hear that. But I'm thankful for the people with the community that I have. First of all, Monee, I'm thankful for you, because 2024, baby, the people saw the content, us getting together and the content, but they didn't see the warfare that was going on. They didn't. I think it was 2023, 2024. They didn't see the warfare. They didn't see me. Literally, I don't want to say I was losing my mind, but I was just not in a good space. And it was times where I didn't want to pray. And you was like, no, we about to pray. And I remember my friend Sam a while ago. You got to have people that, like, y'all can, the brunches are cool, the content is cool, you're going out all the time is cool, but baby, when you have people in your life that pray for you and fast for you on your behalf, that hits different. There was a time, y'all, I did not want to pray. I didn't want to seek God. I didn't want to do anything. And your circle matters. Who you have in your circle matters. Monee, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for, Sam. I'm thankful for Cece. I'm thankful for Kendrea and Jessica. I have a group called the Melanin Millionaires. And at the time, TMCBA, just Kwame, just the community that really and really like praying for me. I didn't even ask. It was like, when two or three are gathered, baby,
Oh yeah.
it helped. And then y'all's faith ignited my faith again. To the point that I wanted to seek God more, and understanding, like, I had to change my perspective to, Lord, why? is this happening to like, okay, God, I see it now.
You
I,
see the
I see it now. I see why this happened.
yeah.
I see it now. But then I was angry. I was mad. I wanted to nuck and buck.
Mhm.
Y'all gonna hear about this story, honey. But now I have grown from that, and I thank God for that. But don't nobody try me now. Don't try me. But faith, but
Safe now.
right. But faith definitely played an important role. And during that, I felt in my heart that, okay, God, you are real. Because things that were revealing to me,
Mhm.
only God would know that. Like no one else would know. Things that I didn't share with you or anybody, like only God will know. That the secret prayers that I prayed, only God would know. And it was like, okay, God, you do hear me.
My God.
I remember I had a consultation with a young lady, and the consultation turned to her telling me everything that I prayed for. And I'm like, how does what?
Yeah.
Everything that I prayed for, because she was like, is it okay if we pray? After our consultation, I was like, sure, go ahead. And the very things that I prayed for, I was like, God, I need direction on. This young lady came back, and I was like, okay, God, thank you. Like, you really do hear me. Like, you have not forgotten about me. And so my faith now is, God, I know you haven't forgotten about me. And that's that.
Girl, you about to have me in here in tears because I don't think the people understand what it means to be that tired to the point where you tell him, are you even real? Are you there? You know how tired you have to be or
Oh
how
yeah.
in this world you have to be to actually question your creator. And for him to still have grace, like his grace
Hmm.
is sufficient and it showed up.
It did. It did. But God.
But God, this podcast is here. My,
Mm. In the
girl.
flesh.
In the flesh. In the flesh. So what's one scripture or prayer or moment with God that has helped you during that time?
Okay. There was a point in my life where I was somewhere, and I'm not gonna talk about that now, but this lady gave me this booklet. And at the time I was like, I don't want to read that. I don't want to read nothing pertaining to your God. Like that's how I was. And so I got the booklet and I opened it up, and it was like, just stand firm and know that I am him. And also Romans 8:28. For all things work together. The
Mm.
good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, the doubt, the not knowing, the uncertainty, the unclarity,
You better.
all things
Yes.
work together. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All things work together. I didn't understand that scripture as a kid, but I understand it now. And I had this prayer where there were times where I just didn't even know what to say. I would say, God, you already know. Amen.
Yeah.
And I left it like that.
Wow.
And that, huh?
It can all be so simple.
It can all be so simple. I all that, people like the Terry and stuff like that, that old school. I talk to God like we best friends. Like, look, this I don't know what's going on, but God, this ain't it. So what's up? Like, what do I need to do? Because obviously my way ain't working. But that if I ever get to a point, I always say, God, you already know. And amen.
And
And that's
amen.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
That scripture, stand firm, Romans 8:28, and God, you already know, but you gotta mean it. Like you can't say it out of an arrogance. You gotta
Yeah.
be like, God, you already know what I need. Like, or God, you already know that I don't know what to say in this moment.
Mhm.
Amen. Like you gotta mean it, you
Mm.
know?
You gotta mean it. That's so true. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. As I am of you.
You did the work because a lot of people would have given up.
Maybe I thought about it. I wanted to.
Yeah, but you
I
didn't.
I did.
Yeah, because we ain't gonna tell y'all about the time her daddy called us.
Listen,
Oh my
I
God.
cannot wait to have my dad on the podcast. That's gonna be a good episode.
That
That's
is
gonna be a really, really good episode. I'm excited about that. I really am. I really am. I really am. Oh, girl.
yeah, y'all. Ray came for our head that day.
He did. But it was much needed though. And it was out of love. So yeah, it was good. It was really, really good. I'm really enjoying this, friend.
Well, let's keep it going.
Okay.
So y'all know my girl is a wife and she's a mom. So Whitney, tell us, how do you keep it all together without losing your mind?
I don't.
And that's a lot.
I don't. Child. Okay, so I really have to work on delegating and really because I overwhelm myself sometimes thinking I have to do all of this, I have to do all of like Whitney sit down. You cannot do everything. And I know some people have that title, oh, I'm Superwoman, baby. I don't want to be Superwoman, baby. I want to be Lois Lane. Clark, come pick me up. Come save me. Okay, come pick me up, Clark. Baby, I don't want that. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. Okay. And I think as Black women, we've been conditioned to nurture and just do and take care and just work ourselves. We tired, but yet we still why? Why are we doing this? Why?
Mm-mm.
I was taking care, and I'm gonna say because I have to work on this, taking care of everybody and everything else, and neglecting myself, making sure everyone and everyone else is good, but neglecting myself, and it showed. It led into me being overwhelmed. It led into anxiety. It led into depression. It was not good. And
Right.
even going through that, not a lot of people knew because I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. Why? Why are we conditioned to do that? So now I'm in this newness of delegating and allowing if this doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. Okay. We're gonna try it again tomorrow. But right now in this moment, it is taking care of Whitney
Mm.
and making sure Whitney is good because if Whitney is not good, home is not going to be good.
The whole house gonna fall.
Listen, it really, really is. So, as a woman, I am learning to take care of myself. I love my mom, but I see how my mom would just be running and doing. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm practicing my soft life
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good.
because I can still be a nurturer and I can also still have rest.
That's that friend. Say that again for the ladies who ain't heard it.
I can still be a nurturer and still rest.
That's it.
I can still be a nurturer, a wife, and a good mom, and still take time out for myself.
Because you think you have, like you say, you think you got to run to and from and always on the edge of your seat trying to get stuff done, and by the time you sit down, what's left for you?
That's it. And you're depleted. And everybody else is out living their lives, and the kids doing good, your spouse doing good. They just out there living, and you in here like, what? You looking at them funny because they out there doing their thing because you've given everything. And I think for me, I had to learn how to speak up and voice my needs and say, this is what I need right now. I need this time right now, and I have to do better. I'm working on it,
Mhm.
but Soft Life Whitney has entered the chat.
Nope.
And I encourage that for you all as well. And not just for the ladies, for the men too. Take care of yourself. Can we take care of ourselves first before we start taking care of everyone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's good. What is one thing about being a mom that has changed the way you see the world?
Girl, I don't want to cry. My son really changed my life and saved my life. A lot of my goals that I have accomplished, of course, is by the grace of God, but it's also because I want my son to know that it can be done. And I also, when I had him, and as he grew older, I wanted to change the trajectory of our family tree, like how communication is done. He really shaped me. He's shaping me to be a better woman because when he was born, all the things that I used to do where I was just doing without intention, everything that I do from here on out is intentional because I'm mindful of what I do. I'm mindful of what I say. I'm mindful of my presence on social media. I'm mindful of every decision that I make because whether I know it or not, it is a reflection. It's like a reflection of like, what my mom does or what my mom sees. This is how I don't want to say I'm a role model in his life, but I also want to be a woman of, just continue to model a woman of substance for him as I don't want to say just for a partner, but just as a person, period, and changing the trajectory of how my childhood was. I didn't have a bad childhood, but things could have been a little different. And just being a safe space for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, girl. Oh my God, this is such a good question.
Mm-hmm. Without him.
I want, like, as he gets older, and even now, I want him to say, my mama did. You know, my mama believed she could, so she did. And everything is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, when he was born, me thinking about I was selfish. Baby, I can't be selfish now because I have this little person depending on me.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I do from here on out it's not just for me, it's for him, it's for our legacy. It's me stopping cycles so that he won't go through things. We're stopping the generational curses and we're picking up generational blessings. Yeah,
Wow.
that's why me and my son, we have such a he's 8 and our conversations are so real. Like he comes to me about everything as an 8-year old kid, and I love that. And it's just intentional. I am more intentional because of him.
That's good. And you recently took him to Universal Studios,
I
so
did.
you are creating memories with him.
Yes, yes, I am. And I want him to look back and say, well, I saw this post and said, I don't want my child to have a, a childhood that he needs therapy from.
Wow.
And so, I mean, of course, I want him to go to therapy,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want it to be because of, his childhood. Just creating that safe space for him is causing me to be intentional about what I do, what I don't do, what I tolerate, what I don't tolerate, because kids are watching
Mm-hmm.
and kids are very smart. And I say I'm intentional. Kids are very intentional. We just don't realize it, but they are.
They are very intentional.
They are.
They be listening when you think they're not paying attention. They are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, friend. We wrapping it up. I got just
Wrap it up. This has been good.
one or two more questions here. You know, it's just a little razzle dazzle. Okay, so where do you see Style and Grace going? And what's next for you?
Brady, these are really good questions. I'm so proud of you.
Yes, I was coming.
Um, let's see, Style and Grace. I would like to see the Style and Grace podcast grow eventually. If it's the Lord's will, we get some sponsorships. I would like for this to be not only audio, but video as well. Style and Grace may have to pop up at a few events, a few hostings,
A few. It's, you're listening. Hello.
a few hostings. And what's next for me? How about this? I have goals. I do have goals and I do have a vision. However, I have not written them down yet. Right now in this moment, what's next for me is really reclaiming my joy
Oh,
and reclaiming my time. Like Aunt Maxine say, like I really it's really time for me to reclaim my time.
no more delay.
No more delay because I delayed long enough. I
Mm,
delayed long enough. So that's what it is. Working on that. That's what's next for me.
what's next? Okay. So we the people will be watching.
Thank you for the accountability.
Always, always. Okay, last question, friend. If you could go back and talk to the version of yourself that was so scared to start all of this, what would you say to her?
That your vision is not in vain and that God sees you and you're not forgotten. So keep going.
Hmm, that's good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
ever think to yourself like you were born for such a time, like really for such a time as this, literally?
Now I have. Uh,
Yeah.
now.
Wow. It's like a full circle moment. Like his hand is really upon you right now.
Hmm.
You really walked through some things.
I did.
You
I
did?
I really walked through some things. No, baby. I cried through. I walked through. I crawled through. Girl, y'all gonna hear about it.
You was out there with major pain.
Listen, for real. For real. It was wow. To God be
Yeah.
the glory though. To God be the glory though. For real.
Well, it was my pleasure
Oh,
to be your host on the Style
yes.
Podcast.
I am grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you for this because you surprised me with these questions. God said, okay, my friend is in her journalism bag. Okay. You
Okay. You answered them very well.
thank you. And I appreciate you. I honor you. honor your friendship. I just honor who you are, woman of God, your growth, your grace. Thank you. Thank you so much, Monee. Monee, tell the people how they can connect with you.
You can follow me on Instagram at the Anissa Monee, on TikTok the Anissa Monee, and YouTube the Anissa Monee.
Yes, make sure y'all follow my girl. Again, thank you all for tuning in to this wonderful episode of the Style and Grace podcast. Again, Monee, thank you. Thank you so much for this. It was beautiful. You guys be sure to like, comment, follow me on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Definitely leave a comment. I want to be engaged. If you have some topics that you want me to discuss or any questions, I have my email in the show notes. I also have Monee's information in the show notes as well. So thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, and remember, where style meets substance and grace meets real life experiences.